Hey there, I'm Katsumi, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So, right now, there's like a very loud, clear energy coming in today, okay? Like a microphone being turned up, okay? Like maybe like the volume is being turned up. I'm hearing the amp is being turned up, okay? I heard past the cord for something like past the aux might be of significance, okay? And right now the word coming through is vindicated. Okay, maybe someone's passing the microphone to somebody. Okay, I'm also hearing the words or those who whispered behind your back. Specific words are being forced to speak the truth in the light of day. Okay, now let's find out what other messages are coming through. Also, my nose itches. Okay, so that might be of significance. Also, something to do with crows or birds chirping, like cawing is what I'm hearing. Like like when they like rise in the day and uh fall in the dawn or in the dusk of the hour is what I'm hearing. Okay, so that might be of significance. Maybe you have a bird, or maybe you wake up when the birds call in the morning and you fall asleep when the birds are leaving for the rest of the day. That's kind of the vibe I'm hearing here. Okay, something to do as well with your current energy, your current you know what I'm hearing? Not only current energy, current mindset, current thoughts, something to do with scattered energy and a fresh start, okay? I'm hearing something about receiving apologies and open recognition in the messaging here, okay? Something to do with you have too much on your plate and have lost your focus. So this is probably perhaps what people are thinking towards you or what people want you to feel, okay? This is causing you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed, all right? Prioritizing your well being may be of very importance at this time in order to create a new plan, okay? There's also some sort of fresh start coming in for you, okay? Maybe after a long winded battle, okay? Also, the words or something to do with the Akashic records is really coming in strong recently. And that's why I felt compelled to pull out this deck, even though it's very slippery. So that might also be of significance. Something is coming out of the woodwork, something is revealing itself to you, okay? You're also being given some sort of opportunity to begin again, begin anew, allowing yourself to embrace the new life and open up fully to this gift that you've been given, okay? So that might be of significance too, because you start off in this position of the Nine of Pentacles. So it's a very strong position of material gain, resources, stability, something to do with your body, okay? I'm hearing that you are enduring some sort of physical activity, physical labor is what I heard, okay? That might be in the mental, that might be in the physical or spiritual, take what resonates. But there's definitely something to do with your self-worth, okay? Your level of independence towards some sort of, I'm hearing some sort of situation that it's like, maybe it's like your life starts off here, but it's like you're kind of also, it kind of gives me like Seven of Pentacle vibes, but it's like you're at the nine. So you've already done that patient investment, okay, that patient reflection. But birds might be significant as well here, even in the imagery. So um keep a lookout, I would say. Perhaps you collect feathers, perhaps you love to see birds when you go out on a stroll to the park or something like that. But I feel like birds are very reminiscent in the energies today. Maybe the symbolic nature of what a bird is. Maybe you feel like a locked bird in some sort of cage of some kind. I'm hearing something to do with some sort of narrative around you that was keeping you stuck in some period of time. Like it's almost as though people wanted you to land on their wrist like a bird is what I'm hearing, okay? um Kind of to latch onto you, but you have your own level of independence because a bird is free, you know what I mean? Yeah, Ten of Swords, something to do in your current environment that is kind of trying to lock you down, okay? Create some sort of irreversible end for you, some irreversible I'm hearing like nightmare, have you overthinking, put you in some sort of defeat mentality, something to do with having you to like surrender what they believe to be rightfully theirs is what I'm hearing, okay? People are whispering behind your back about you being envious, you trying to steal something from them, take their place, they're jealous about this and that, okay? I'm hearing they're folding, okay? That's what I just heard. Something about the gossip is being exposed, okay? Is what I'm hearing there. Yeah, there's like snakes in the grass while you have these opportunities coming into light for you, okay? Something to do with like there's hidden influences that you're not really sure what's going on, okay? It's almost like a war happening in the background, in the work work hemisphere, okay? It could be even in your public relationships, maybe like friends, family, foes, okay? I'm hearing frenemies might also be reminiscent here as well. Something to do with options are coming in for you because you have all of this nostalgia, all of this dream and temptation happening. But because of that, there's a lot of illusions. People are setting up traps for you, is what I'm hearing, okay? I'm hearing something's coming to light, but I'm not quite sure what that is at this point in time. But we're gonna find out what's going on, okay? What's the gossip? What's happening? Okay, there's one more card over here on the side. Ooh, okay. Cards are falling, but we start off in some sort of glow up energy. Okay, so you're glowing up. Okay, I think that has something to do with that public recognition that I was hearing in the undercurrents here. Okay, something is I, like the card splattered. Okay, it's kind of giving this vibe of like someone is getting like a face planted, almost like reaction. I heard a knee jerking reaction from your glow up. It's like it's leaving people in some sort of disarray. Okay, something to do with when they try to put some sort of narrative about you, okay? Try to spin. I heard something about spin the wheel, something about play the fiddle, okay? To try to get you to collapse under some sort of weight, okay? You stand at 10 toes down on your consistent integrity, is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do about your integrity in the way that you show up is so authentic that they wish that they were standing in this authentic spirit, but it's not them, it's you. You know what I mean? They kind of hoped that you would hide in shame, but actually you glowed up even more, is what I'm getting there, okay? It's like you took this as a fresh start to rework on yourself, okay? Rework the plots, the ploys, the plans, is what I'm hearing, okay? The hexes and the vexes is what I'm hearing there. Yeah, you're breaking the cycle, okay? Something to do with you just ending harmful patterns. We're getting a lot of messaging around old cycles, old patterns, okay? So the previous reading might be of significance as well, so check that out if you're interested. Something to do with you are finding your freedom from repetition. I'm hearing like it's like narcissists coming out of the woodworks, okay? Masochists, people who are self-centered, egotistical, kind of like psychopathic kind of tendencies that people have that try to trap you and hold you down because they're so dependent on your energy, on your high level frequency consciousness, okay? But you are learning to like grow and kind of like it's like a beautiful flower budding even though there's thorns present. You know, you're a rose is what I'm seeing in the symbolic energies there. And you're starting new and you're basically breaking cycles and it's stopping with you is what I'm hearing, okay? So I'm hearing the truth is coming to light. They're folding. I keep hearing they're folding, okay? So something to do with your enemies, your opposition, those who are coming up against you. When these opportunities come in for you, you're really going to be able to put two and two together is what I heard, okay? Something to do with they were hoping that you would hide in shame. Okay, going back into that messaging there, something to do with the universe is forcing them to admit their errors is what I heard, okay? I heard admitted, okay? So maybe they already admitted what they tried to do to you. Maybe they were like, oh, you know, I was mistaken about the collective. They're actually pretty cool, but in actuality, they still feel this way, but they're playing like some sort of political ploy, some sort of political agenda. Okay, so that might be of significance. I'm hearing that something to do with because the universe is forcing them to admit their errors about what they said about you, how they felt, okay? It's restoring your reputation, okay? While you're working on yourself, you're glowing up again. You have that 9 of Pentacles showing up of self-worth. You're living in your luxury and your reward, okay? It's like you're validating yourself, even though your opposition wasn't validating you, okay? Because they're folding under some sort of pressure of the truth and the apology of you being in some sort of like I'm hearing like some I heard mode, okay? I heard the word ice block for some reason. Like they tried to ice block you is what I'm hearing. Okay, they're folding under this ice block. Okay, maybe they put themselves in an ice block. There's like I'm hearing iceberg. I don't know why. Something cold is in the mist, okay? But their apology, okay, they never thought that you would get some sort of finality, some sort of manifestation, okay? For the world to see you the right way all along is what I'm hearing, okay? So I'm hearing you won the war. Ooh, 8 of Wands in the back of the deck, okay? That's very significant. You're running. I heard running. Okay, I'm hearing moving. You're running. okay? A lot of momentum, a lot of speed, and it's aggressive, okay? We're flowing, we're traveling at the speed of light, is what I'm hearing, okay? I'm hearing they might come back to apologize towards you, okay? They're picking up their swords, okay? Some sort of hideaway, runaway, hidden motives, okay? There's still deceit in the air, so be mindful of that, okay? Your enemies, they'll play the fiddle and they'll put a mask on until the lights run out, you know what I mean? Until there's an outage, you know what I mean? So keep a lookout, okay? And you're definitely doing that with that Six of Wands energy, okay? Something to do with just the advice of just be on the lookout, always be moving, but recognize like what you've achieved. Recognize your victory in this war. You won because you picked up the pieces. You picked up after all of this nonsense happening in the background. After all of this deceit happening in your social sphere, your advice is to keep it pushing and recognize your worth. That's what I'm hearing, okay? You were right all along. Someone tried to concoct something about you. They said, oh, their tone is off. Oh, they said this. Oh, they said that. They're taking things out of context, okay? They're not actually living in love and light. They're ready to like place an agenda on you without actually going to source first, which is you, to kind of talk it out. They'd rather confront somebody else about what you did rather than speak to you directly. And because of that, there's this ideology about gossip is like a tongue language, like the tongue of a snake. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they're trying to concoct and try to fold up some sort of storyline, and it gets raveled up. They get raveled up in their own chains, their own tail, and they end up eating themselves. Is what I'm hearing. Okay, so they kind of like go into this, reverse mentality. Okay, I'm hearing that's where the mic really drops because they start getting sick. Okay, they start and I'm hearing low levels of frequency, low levels of consciousness. It's like inner turmoil, inner battle with themselves. Okay, but in doing so, as you kind of just recognize your victory, you're holding tight to your Four of Pentacles. Something to do with hold tight because the journey is going to get wild from here, okay? Things are going to be picking up for you. You're finally able to secure your I'm hearing your pedestal for some reason, but your pentacles, your pedestal of pentacles, okay? Something to do with when you started off, you had the Knight of Pentacles, and these people took so much from you, and you came out with the Four of Pentacles. This is so reminiscent of the previous reading, where I felt like someone was giving you half of what you actually deserved, less than half. It's like you were at 100%, they took 60, you got 40, and you decided to I'm hearing acknowledge your self-worth, which has allowed you to hold tight on the Four of Pentacles that you have at this point in time and keep pushing forward, okay? So you're a horse, okay? You have your pentacles with you, so you just keep pushing, you know what I mean? It's like there's a bit of a loss, it's a bit of a hollow victory, but you still win, okay? We're also getting status upgrade and bounce back. Something to do with this fresh start is going to allow you to elevate yourself with, I'm hearing new resources for some reason. Not only with lifestyle, but also something to do with some sort of partnership coming in that's going to really elevate you to the next level, okay? I'm hearing that there's some sort of person in the background, maybe a mentor, a mentee, okay? Maybe someone that you're teaching, okay, who admires you. There's someone who you also admire. You're having a candid one-on-one session with them is what I heard, okay? Something to do with you just being on top of your game, okay? And you want to get the advice and something to do with get advice into how to get the what is it called? I don't know why I was hearing art of war. Something to do with taking the high ground, okay? Something to do with you kind of like speaking your truth so you get the light of day is what I'm hearing, okay? That's the vibe I'm hearing with that. And you're very resilient in these setbacks, okay? You're recovering very quickly, okay? You're very determined to rise again. No one can keep you down, okay? Especially these deep fakes, okay? People who try to concoct some sort of initiative against you with a whole bunch of people. I'm hearing gang stalked, okay? These demonic forces try to gang up on you and try to have some sort of virtual deception, ultra truths about your true character, your true nature, okay? Seeing is no longer believing was the vibe. It's like they had you questioning yourself. It's almost like you were getting gaslit is what I'm hearing there, okay? Seeing is no longer believing, and you had to use your discernment in that regard, okay? And while you were utilizing your discernment, you were on hustle mode. You started working on all these little things that they said you needed to work on, okay? They were wondering, okay, why are you like that? Why are you this and that? And then all of a sudden, as you're working on yourself, they finally admit that they were wrong, okay? They're like, oh, they actually can do this, they actually can do that. And it's like they just needed to talk to you kind of thing is what I'm hearing there, okay? Something to do with your determined effort, okay? Your ambitious drive is going to keep you pushing forward, okay? So keep grinding is what I'm hearing here in the messages. Something about sleep can wait. So maybe you are a little bit sleep deprived. Maybe insomnia might be of significance as well, okay? But universe is asking you to also maintain your energy, okay? Coffee, tea, stay caffeinated is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with rushing of excitement, rushing to excitement. Something exciting is coming in for you. Getting a lot of flipping and flapping. Okay, that might be of significance. Okay, alluring thoughts and actions. Okay, with temptation. There's going to be a lot of options coming in. Okay, some are structured and some are just driven by control and deceit. Some are related to chains and bondages. It's like this. I'm getting like a fig tree or perhaps a cranberry might be of significance as well. Something to do with, I don't know why. When I thought of a fig tree, I was thinking about the bugs in the fig plant or I think it's a fruit if I'm not mistaken. So there's also always like some sort of a weird investment of something, some sort of deceit. Like it's like you buy a fruit, you think it's one thing, but it's really the other. It's kind of the vibe I'm hearing with that. Okay, it's like you kind of have to use your wits, is what I'm hearing. There's also something in the distance, okay, that it's closer than you think. I'm getting a sense that you've been looking for this fresh start or looking forward to this fresh start. You want to move forward. You want to move on. I heard something is muddy. I heard muddied waters is what I heard, okay? So right now the waters are trying to clear up or you're trying to clear up the waters, okay? But something is in the distance for you. And that has something to do with a celebration, okay? You're going to be enjoying your victories with others, okay? I don't know if there's opposition or not, but I don't think so. I think it's somebody else coming through, okay? And falling on my lap, there's something to do with a warning, okay? So pay attention to red flags. There's going to be someone that's going to try to, I don't know what it is. They're going to try to, it's like they're trying to double back, okay? It's like the Seven of Swords energy. They're picking up the swords. They're like, oh, I still got my swords. I can still attack the collective. And it's like, they're not done yet, is what I heard, okay? You won the war, but they think the battle is still going, okay? They don't know when to stop, is what I heard, okay? So you have to kind of your wits about you, okay? But you're gonna be big. Wow, I'm hearing bee. I heard the word bee and beehive. But you're going to be able to nurture your garden, water your garden. Something about bees might be of significance. So honey, okay? I feel like that's what's going to rejuvenate the muddy waters that you're sensing. You're getting a fresh air, fresh water. Some sort of fresh spring is coming in for you. Okay, spring might be of significance when you start this new journey. Okay, but you might go on some sort of detour. Okay, you might change course because of the war that's at bay. Okay, some sort of mental cycle, some sort of mental chains, physical chains you might have to break. You're gonna have to go through some sort of detour to get there. Okay, and it has a lot to do with your mindset shifting. So as you take this detour, it's really going to challenge you in ways you didn't quite expect. Okay, when the truth comes to light about how people did you dirty. Okay. Who was right, who was wrong all along. Okay, people are going to be hiding in shame. You're going to be able to live in the love and light. There's definitely going to be something to do with you changing your perspective about how people treat you and how you treat others, but also learning from these experiences. Okay, I'm hearing a sense of confidence and warmth coming in from you. You're still wanting to treat these individuals with love and respect in some regards to the best of your ability, but I think at the same time you're keeping like your professional distance is what I'm hearing in like the undercurrents, okay? In order to kind of keep your security and your stability at bay. So you have control over your Four of Pentacles, okay? Over your material resources. This might be in a work environment. That's kind of the vibe I'm hearing here. But for the most part, this new path, which is kind of giving me the sense of the Fool and the Major Arcana, something to do with it's going to give you the sense of innocence and freedom again, because this new opportunity is allowing you to leap forward into some sort of manifestation, some sort of inspired faith, some sort of new journey that's in the distance. You can see it, but it's not quite here yet, okay? And I feel as though justice is balancing out, the scales are balancing out is what I'm hearing. You're going to find or sense or feel like you're receiving justice, okay? So yeah, those are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this reading resonated, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.